Happy Friday, pajama morning at home. Yes. Yesterday, we did not do an episode. It was a red rainstorm morning here. Clients were cancelled. The day was jumbled. Whoa, me and my husband, when we woke up, we were tired. I was like, nope, not today. I did, however, write my email. So if you are not on my newsletter list, I do write my email Monday to Friday. Similar thoughts, similar threads, but the insights do weave back from a lot longer from the newsletters, so it's a slightly different version of my work and my insights and my perspectives delivered straight to your inbox. So if you're interested in that, join the pulse. Otherwise, I'm going to do one more. I wanted to get my 5 in this week, so I'm going to do one more video tomorrow because I also have clients. I've got 3 clients today, 3 clients tomorrow at the gym. Managed to catch up with my personal online clients this week, which I'm excited about. Had an amazing chat with one of my stunt women yesterday. Oh, what has this year been, man? Fire horse year. We are going to just let it be. Lots happening. Wow. I was just listening to a lovely Rick Rubin clip from one of the podcasts he did. I think it was with Lewis Howes. And he just said, accepting your heart and putting your stuff out there. I think it's so hard with art, with beauty, with creations, with anything that you're doing to stand by your own guns and say, this is what I think is beautiful. This is what I think is useful. This is what I'm going to put out there, and to not change what you're doing so dependent on what's happening from outside. It's so easy to have, oh, this is working for other people, I should try this, or this is working for this person, so maybe there's something there. And it's just, I don't know. He also said something interesting about, what's starting to happen with AI and what's going to eventually happen with AI is that all these different AI platforms, what you do is when you input a prompt, they're all going to eventually start to spit out the same thing. All right. Whereas if you put the same subject matter or topic in front of 2 different writers or 2 different artists, the outcome of what you get would be the same subject but 2 very different perspectives on the same thing. And that's basically all personal branding is, right? It's your ethos, it's your values, some of which will match up with others, some of which won't match up with others. And it's being able to stand in your own bubble and build your own practice of finding your own truth, finding your own values, finding your own philosophies, practicing and living in those philosophies, and doing it for long enough to have other people that resonate with that show up. Like, it's so easy to think that you're the crazy one until you start to find a few more people in the room that think like you, and you're like, huh, so I wasn't insane. And you go 1 or 2 more steps and you're like, oh, there are more insane people than me who think like this and who think in this way. Like, I have always been dubious since I was a kid of this whole life is hard, life sucks, work has to be suffering, and just all this heaviness on life and its baseline responsibilities that stop you from actually, when you look at that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, staying stuck in these little worry loops and panic loops and staying in that survival section of the triangle means that you're not able to have enough energy for it to flow and create and get curious and do these things and allow, what's that word, synchronicities to happen, and for the magic to unfold. Like, you suffocate the living life out of everything you're doing just to barely survive. Yeah, I don't know. As a kid, I mean, again, very grateful for being raised in a city like Hong Kong. It was very confusing on my nervous system, on my beliefs, on everything, because you see such a wide range. And again, with Dad in the police force, with one view and perspective on the world and wealth and what is attained by wealth, but only ever dealing with the worst of the worst, because the nature is, if they are coming in contact with your job, they are usually the worst of the worst, or they are being caught for something. And it's just been so relieving for me to pinpoint, to be in close proximity with more people that just have put their foot down and go, I am not playing these games and I do not believe in this. It's the same thing that we've spoken about recently before, about people putting all this stuff about, oh, marriage is so hard. It's like, no. What was it somebody said? I loved her reel the other week. She was like, no, picking what you want to eat every day is hard. Picking, sorting out, I'm not a parent, but sorting out kids is difficult. But actual marriage is supposed to be fun. Like, you've picked a life partner that you want to witness their lives and have them witness yours and build something together and share in joy and share in moments and share in adventures and continuously grow and continuously get to know someone. And I even see this in relationships where people, they get into something and then they assume that the other person is going to do all the work. And it's like, you both have to be 100% committed to the life that you're building together. That's not saying that you have to do 100% of everything all the time. The things get shared, things get, this isn't even about relationships. I kind of want to just cycle back to the creator thing and about just cultivating that I can make what I want to make because I want to make it, and start there. Because if so much of the I want to make is on condition of the dollars coming in and of the fame and of the you're gonna freak yourself out before you do it. I did. I spent many years going, oh, I'm so worried about being so successful. Oh, so worried. How about you just go and make what you want and then see what happens, and whether you get success or not is a whole kind of moot point. Like, it is fascinating to me how our brains interface with this reality, and how much is in that autopilotness, and how important it is to keep asking yourselves interesting questions and asking yourselves questions that dig you into a bit deeper of where you want to go and what you want to do. And it came up again on my call yesterday with my client. It's like we're ready to play different games. Like, it's been tough, it's been long, things are moving, things are shifting, and things are growing, things are building, and all of us we're getting more confident, we're stepping into more, bigger projects and meeting more people and doing big things. And it's like, yeah, the nervous system's very quick to go, boy. And it's like, calm. Do your reps, do your training, do good, take care of yourself, put your spidey senses out there for opportunities, and also go and ask for the opportunities that you want. If you don't know how to do that, go follow Jay Yang. He's even broken it down into case studies. The dude got an internship with Noah Kagan when he was 17. He's worked with the Hormozis now. He's publishing his second book. The dude's 20. This world is insane. What's possible is insane. Oh, that's what happened the other day as well. I didn't feel like doing a Tea with Maja episode yesterday. You know that amazing painting I've been working on for Becca? I put the seal on it. I was so adamant I wanted to seal it, and it was a big piece. I'd finished it the other day, and I was happy with it. I was almost ready to post it. Put the seal on, and I watched all the colours fade and blend and merge. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought it might be salvageable if it dried nice and flat and a clean gloss. But it didn't. I looked at it. I still looked at it. I need to go get rid of it now. It's time. That canvas is non-salvageable, and I just laughed, and my heart sank for a minute, of course, but I just laughed because I knew when I started the piece, it was a big piece. I'd got the billboard on and I'd realized I'd put it too high up on the canvas. So instead of deciding to restart at that point, because I'd done the dress so nice, I just kept layering and kept adding and kept pushing and kept building, and it was great, and then it worked, and then it didn't, and then I was fixing the face, and then I added the graffiti and I loved it, and then I was like, okay, it's coming back, but it's funny. It's like it still wasn't, it was a finished piece and it was beautiful and I'm sure she would have loved it, but it didn't have the oomph that I wanted. And I actually realized once it finished, the size was almost a bit too big for what I wanted. So it would have actually fitted nicely on a slightly smaller canvas. So luckily I got a really nice shot of it just before I put the seal on. So I'm going to use that, reproject it onto a new canvas when I get back and redo it for her and then post it off. And it just, this is the game. This is the game. Think of something, bring it into fruition. It's probably not going to work out the first time. I mean, who the hell did I think I was in a dusty back room, having not poured resin for a long time? I did one test on gouache paints on a canvas that was like this big. My canvas is like this big. The space isn't prepped. There's dust in the room. That like I didn't have the right lighting to see where the bubbles were. I hadn't done a seal like that since high school, university. Like also, sometimes it's amazing how we like to think that, oh yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, I shall just rise to the occasion. We do not rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. And this is why the reps over time are so important, that becomes the new default, not the something that you're having to do the big scary thing to overcome, to get into the room, to even do the baseline of what it is you're trying to do. And again, nobody knows what you've been trying to do, so keep working at it. Go back to the drawing board, try again, create. Like, it's not a waste of time for me to have spent doing that painting. That is not a waste. That is the first time I have decided to put a piece together and I managed to do that. Yeah. Painting is definitely on my radar when I get home. Doing more of my own pieces and more of my own work and just developing that. I even already have 5 new ideas for other creatives as gifts and things, and it nicely ties in with the gift giving aspect of what I love doing, and thoughtful gifts, because usually I'm very good at, I enjoy buying gifts for people. I feel like I'm quite thoughtful, but I do love when I can actually create them something, or paint them something, or print them something, or do something that is a little more specific or unique or, yeah, special, right? And nothing kind of beats a handmade gift, not gonna lie. Like something that someone has spent some time on. And I even thought to myself, I was close to, taking the picture that I had and maybe putting it on a print and sending it as a print to this lady. Or this lady, you know who it is, it's Becca. I'm sending it to Becca. Don't tell her. Shh. So I've got a couple of months to get that sorted. Not even a couple of months. I'm not even going to give myself a time limit. I actually don't think it's going to take me long to redo that piece when I get back, because I've now been playing with the paints. I know what I want it to look like. I know how to finish it. I ain't going to put a resin finish on it. That's not happening. We're just going to glue it and then we're going to post it. And like I said, I think it would actually be a little bit suited as a slightly smaller size. We went kind of aggressive. We went rather large. And even as I was looking at it, as I was finishing it, I was like, gosh, I wonder how I'd feel if something like this showed up for me. And it's quite large. I was like, that's not a not statement piece. I think it needs to just come down a little so that it's not so. And you only learn that by doing. I would have only learned that by doing and not by doing. And it just, and it reminds me of this whole process again. It's funny, I saw Kieran Drew put a post up the other day that said, don't do daily emails if you don't have an audience and you don't have this and whatever, or don't do daily posting and stuff if you haven't built, do the. And I think so much again of this really comes down to, it's not about what are the options out there. It's about what are the options out there that are going to best suit you, because there are 101 million ways to do content and 101 million ways to build a business. Just like if, again, the personal branding, I'm not going to be the only marketing coach out there. I know I'm not. Like, that's a stupid thing even to say. You're not going to be the only one of the thing that you're doing, but you are going to be the only one of the thing that you are doing that has your perspective and has your direct experience and has your detail, orientation, and nuance to what it is you can bring. And there will be people that need that and people that need something else. The biggest barrier against AI at the moment and against what's coming is to cultivate your own critical thinking, your own values, your own philosophies, your own style, your own feel for things, your own sense of, what is it, energetic sovereignty. For me, that's always been a big thing. And I think it's only been, I'm pretty sure that was what I was feeling before Dolomites. And then with Dolomites and Granddad passing, and then this year doing what it does, it's amazing that we've already come back to a full year. Granddad's September. It was September. It's crazy that that's even already been a year. Almost 2.5 years from Dad. Like, things keep moving, things keep building, and the years are only going to speed up. And the more that you wait for permission, the more that you wait to start, the more that you wait for anybody else, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Like, you really are. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do. Well, again, nuance, please. Some people care, and don't be a dick. Like, if you have a good heart and you want to put good out into the world, it is your job to start cultivating the self-confidence to get you to a place that you can be doing that for others. That is the lesser of all evils. The sitting and mulling and waiting and wishing and wanting and whining, and that slowly and easily turning into jealousy and guilt and shame for not starting, even though it's never a bad time to start. You can pivot in your 40s, you can pivot in your 50s. Hell, again, you always bring it back to the KFC, Colonel, what, Mustard? Why did I want to say Colonel Mustard? That's from Cluedo. But KFC dude, he only built that in his 60s. Like, what are we doing? Society ruined us by feeling like our lives were over as soon as we got out of high school, or that, like, by 25 or by 30, it's all downhill. Seriously? No, it is not. It is only going to get better as you get to the point where you get to realize you're an adult, you have free will, you can go do something, you can go make something, you can start a YouTube channel and change your life, you can go make some content, you can go write a piece of music, you can go write a book, you can do whatever you like. Do it. And the I don't have time is such a shit excuse anymore. Like, it just, time for what? You don't have time for life? Okay. Okay. But then I don't have time for people like that. I have time for people who do have time for life, who do have time for fun, who do have time for lunch at 11. Oh, you can't do it? Okay, well, then get yourself in a position where you can join. Otherwise, you can't join. You don't get to have nice things if you don't know how to look after nice things. And in order to learn how to look after nice things, you have to start to learn how to look after yourself. Because if you don't look after yourself very much, you're not treating yourself like a nice thing. Like, this is where my logic has kind of logicked over the last little bit. And this energy that gets wasted on everybody else's opinion of shit. It's like, just kind of turn and look at yourself for a while. Focus on yourself for a while. Give yourself to the end of this year. Already the fire horse has pissed off enough people. And there's so much going on. Q4 has come up like that. I mean, it's September next week. We're heading into the end of the year. It's amazing. And especially for businesses, you've got a lot of holidays and packages and bonus. We're going into one of the biggest spending portions of the year. Everyone likes to start saying, "Oh no, it's nobody's buying." People are buying shit every day. I think this blows my mind, even just looking at the Taobao app. The amount that it's gross. The amount that's being shipped and moved and spent and on. But it is. People are spending. People are doing. So again, it was that visual I've had for a while. Like there's this big cloud above here. This is all where the green energy is. The money, the resources, it's all floating. It's all available. It's all circulating. How do you build your own little ladder and your own little pipeline to tap into that and get your peace? But you have to build your peace, and you have to enjoy building your peace. You can't want to just throw out some crap and expect large amounts in return for that. We get to actually build in purpose into our lives, but you don't get to build in a purpose into your life if you don't even know what you value. Because if you're trying to build in a purpose by attaching yourself to what somebody's making money at and saying, "Oh, I can make that work," well, then you're chasing something that's already not aligned, which means there's very quickly going to be something that's butting up against that. And when the days do get hard, this is where they say as well, it's like, how do you make it through the hard days? Well, because you knew what you were building and you could see it. But in order to do that, you almost need to know a bit more about who you are. And in order to do that, you need to feed yourself, and you need to go move your body, and you need to actually see that in the world that you're living, what do you like, what don't you like? What do you want, what don't you want? If money was no object, if you didn't have to work a job, if you did that, all those questions, but not in some sort of far off fairy tale land, but in some, actually right now, this is what I would rather be doing. Start moving towards that. What's crazy as well is I think I also shot myself in the foot for so long with these big, really, really, really big goals. And I'm not saying those are bad. I'm saying they're amazing. I want you to dream big, but there is something about that shitty disconnection at the start. It's the same as trying to just yell affirmations at yourself in the mirror where you say you're going to do something and your entire being goes, "No, you're not." Like, so, and it's that pullback that you're fighting with in this battle. It's the mind that goes, "No, what makes you think you can do that?" So prove it to yourself, bit by bit. Commit to something, anything. And that's why Project You is always a good idea. Because spending a little bit of time on that is never going to not reap rewards in other areas of your life. It just can't. It's not possible. There is no equation where deciding to work on your fitness and your health and your nutrition to fuel this machine first will negatively affect your outside life. The only way I can see it negatively affecting your outside life is if it starts splitting up marriages and causing you to walk away from bad relationships that were never good for you in the first place. Because you finally have the self-respect to go, "Hang on a minute, that person's been treating me like a piece of shit. And I have been allowing them to walk all over me and just doing it and just staying and just showing up and getting annoyed at it and wondering why nobody's changing because I do so much." Stop doing so much for somebody that actively doesn't do things back. I don't know. When you're doing what you love and you're with people that you love, you want to do things for them and it's reciprocal. It's not one-sided. It's reciprocal. I love my friends. They love me back. I love my husband. He loves me back. Even saying the words sometimes seem arbitrary because he shows me every day in the way that he cares, in the way that he's thoughtful, in the way that he'll do something for me and I notice or do something for me and I haven't had to notice. It's not complicated. We've made it more complicated. And I feel like so much of that is because we've made excuses for a world that we have been forced into that is not okay in the way that it is treating its staff and treating its people and treating its everything just because that's what's available. The internet has changed the game. You get to data mine. You get to build your own income online. You get to, you have reach across the globe now that you never had before. So again, if you're in a position where you can't leave what you're doing right now and you're afraid to build in front of other people, build in private. Build it quietly, but build it publicly somewhere else. But build it, but do it. The reps still count. You can still get yourself out, but people in your initial circle, they don't need to know. Do it somewhere else for long enough for you to go, I'm out of here. And I've watched too many people do that as well for anybody. I don't care what your situation is. Nuance, please, but there is a way out. There is a next move. There is a next option. There is a new idea you can test and try. Doesn't mean that's going to be the one that works. Doesn't mean that's even going to be the 1 in 100th ones that work. But if you keep going and you keep finding and you keep building and you keep adding, you look back 2, 3, 4 years later. Hell, I look back on who I was 5 years now post-surgery, and holy shit, I am not the same person. I am not, and I want new things, and I want bigger things, and I have now built my capacity to go and stand in front of... All right, my storage is full. I gotta go. It's gonna happen again. I will see you guys tomorrow. There's one more episode coming out this week, and yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Very passionate about you doing you. No more permission needed, guys. Create, build, do. I can smell the mountains. They're coming. Maybe that's why I'm finding a new lease on life. I'll see you guys tomorrow.